Welcome to History Unveiled. Today, we journey into one of Africa's most fascinating and enigmatic cultures, the Lemba people. Who are they? How did they come to be known as the Lost Israelites of Southern Africa? In this episode, we will trace their lineage through oral tradition, explore their unique rituals like the sacred ngoma lungundu, and dive into modern genetic research that bolsters their ancient claims. Join us as we trace a lost lineage in Africa, a story that intertwines myth, culture, and science. The Lemba people are a community primarily residing in parts of Zimbabwe and South Africa. For generations, they have maintained an intriguing identity, a self-identification that hints at roots extending all the way back to ancient Israel. Their oral traditions recount a story of migration from a distant land, a journey, they say, from the ancient Middle East to the heart of Africa. Today, we will explore three key segments of the Lemba story. First, we'll review the rich oral traditions and cultural practices that have shaped their community. Next, we'll examine the compelling genetic research, featuring studies by experts such as Tudor Parfitt, which have provided scientific insights into their claimed Middle Eastern origins. Finally, we'll look at how the Lemba are actively reclaiming and preserving their heritage in a rapidly changing world. Let's begin our journey with their oral history and cultural practices. The Lemba's story is told through a wealth of oral traditions, a tapestry of myths, legends, and rituals passed down through generations. These narratives serve as a living record of their identity, customs, and values. At the heart of these stories lies the belief in a divine connection to a people from a far-off land, a connection that many believe links them to ancient Israelites. According to Lemba oral history, their ancestors left a homeland in the Middle East, embarking on a perilous journey that eventually brought them to Africa. This migration is not simply a matter of geography, it represents a profound cultural and spiritual voyage. Many Lemba elders recount stories of a distant, ancient land filled with sacred sites and divine mysteries. Their memories, passed down like precious heirlooms, speak of a time when the divine and the mortal shared an intimate connection. In these stories, the ancestors are portrayed as a noble people, driven by both destiny and divine command. They traveled across deserts and mountains, guided by visions and signs. Their journey, full of trials and miracles, is a powerful reminder of the human spirit's resilience and the eternal quest for identity. The Lemba culture is rich in practices that are as intriguing as they are mysterious. Among these is a ritual drum known as the ngoma lungundu. This sacred instrument is not merely a tool for music, it is a symbol of the Lemba's spiritual heritage and communal identity. The ngoma lungundu, often played during important ceremonies, is believed to connect the physical world with the realm of the ancestors. Its deep, resonant beats echo the heartbeat of the community and serve as a reminder of a time when divine guidance was an everyday presence in the lives of the Lemba. The ritual surrounding the ngoma lungundu is filled with symbolism. Every beat is a call to remember, every rhythm a whisper of a long-forgotten past. In addition to the sacred drum, many of the Lemba's customs mirror those found in ancient Israelite practices. For instance, certain dietary restrictions, the observance of specific holy days, and unique initiation rites echo the traditions of their purported forefathers. Even the practice of circumcision among the Lemba is steeped in ritual significance, a physical mark that unites them with an ancestral legacy that transcends borders and millennia. Throughout the community, elders recount rituals passed on from one generation to the next. These ceremonies are not static relics, they are dynamic expressions of a living culture. The oral traditions serve not only as a guide for religious observance but also as a repository of collective wisdom, offering moral guidance and preserving historical memory. Symbols play an essential role in the Lemba identity. The intertwining of Jewish symbols with indigenous African art forms creates a unique visual language that speaks to their dual heritage. One might see motifs reminiscent of Hebrew script alongside patterns that are distinctly African. This syncretism is a visual manifestation of the Lemba's complex history, a history that defies simple categorization. For the Lemba, these symbols are not merely decorative. They are sacred emblems that encapsulate the spirit of a people who have endured exile, migration, and transformation. Whether carved into wood, etched into stone, or passed down as oral lore, these symbols remind the community of a lost past that they continue to honor and celebrate. At the core of the Lemba tradition is the revered role of the elder. In a society where written records are scarce, the oral storyteller is the keeper of history. Elders are both historians and spiritual guides. They transmit not only facts, but also the emotional depth and spiritual significance of each story. These storytellers, through their measured cadence and evocative imagery, connect the past with the present. They teach the younger generation the importance of memory, community, and identity. In every tale of migration, in every description of a sacred ritual, the elders impart a message of resilience and continuity, an assurance that the Lemba, despite the passage of time and the influence of external forces, remain steadfast in their heritage. As we have seen, the oral traditions and cultural practices of the Lemba are not mere stories from an age gone by. They are living traditions that continue to define the community's identity today. But what happens when ancient tales meet modern science? In our next segment, we turn our attention to the genetic research that has illuminated the Lemba's past in astonishing detail. Modern genetic research has become an essential tool in tracing the pathways of human migration and ancestry. For the Lemba, this scientific inquiry has provided compelling evidence that supports their oral traditions. Researchers, including the notable Tudor Parfitt, have conducted studies that reveal fascinating connections between the Lemba and populations of the ancient Middle East. Tudor Parfitt, a leading figure in the study of Jewish diaspora communities, has been instrumental in exploring the genetic heritage of the Lemba. His research has shed light on a perplexing question. Could a community in southern Africa bear genetic markers that link them to the ancient Israelites? Parfitt's studies, among others, have focused on analyzing the Y chromosome, a segment of DNA passed down from father to son. Remarkably, many Lemba men have been found to carry what is known as the Cohen modal haplotype, a genetic signature that is frequently associated with the priestly class in Jewish tradition. This discovery has sparked both excitement and debate within academic circles, as it lends significant weight to the Lemba's long-standing claims of Middle Eastern ancestry. So, what exactly is the Cohen modal haplotype? In genetic terms, a haplotype is a group of genes that tend to be inherited together. The Cohen modal haplotype, in particular, is a pattern found on the Y chromosome that has been identified in many Jewish populations around the world. For the Lemba, the presence of this haplotype suggests a biological link that is consistent with the narrative of ancient Israelite ancestry. It is important to understand that genetics, while powerful, is not an exact mirror of history. Instead, it offers clues, pieces of a vast puzzle that, when assembled, reveal patterns of migration, intermarriage, and cultural exchange. In the case of the Lemba, genetic research has provided one of the most striking pieces of evidence in favor of their oral history, indicating that they may indeed share ancestry with ancient Jewish populations. Beyond the Cohen modal haplotype, the broader genetic landscape of the Lemba reveals a fascinating mosaic of influences. Studies indicate that while a significant portion of their ancestry is unmistakably African, there exists a discernible genetic contribution from populations in the Middle East. This dual heritage is a testament to the dynamic interplay of migration and cultural exchange over thousands of years. For many geneticists, the Lemba represent a living laboratory, a community where the echoes of ancient migrations are inscribed in every cell. Their genetic profile is a narrative of survival, adaptation, and integration. It speaks of a people who, despite being separated from their ancestral homeland by vast distances and centuries, have preserved a genetic imprint that connects them to an ancient past. The methodologies employed in genetic research on the Lemba are both rigorous and innovative. Researchers collect DNA samples, often through non-invasive methods, and analyze them using advanced sequencing technologies. The resulting data is then compared with genetic markers from various populations across the world. In the Lemba's case, multiple studies have revealed the presence of markers that are typically found in Middle Eastern groups. It is worth noting that genetic research is an evolving field. While current studies strongly support the notion of Middle Eastern ancestry among the Lemba, ongoing research continues to refine our understanding of these complex genetic relationships. Nonetheless, the cumulative findings have provided a powerful counterpoint to the skepticism that once surrounded Lemba's oral traditions, reinforcing the idea that myth and science can indeed converge in unexpected ways. For the Lemba themselves, the results of genetic studies have been a source of both validation and renewed pride. To hear the elders speak is to witness a profound sense of identity reinforced by scientific discovery. When modern genetics confirms what has been passed down through generations of oral tradition, it bridges the gap between myth and empirical evidence. It validates the Lemba narrative, a narrative of endurance, migration, and the unyielding desire to preserve one's heritage. This intersection of genetic science and oral history offers an inspiring example of how ancient traditions can find affirmation in modern research. It is a reminder that the human story is not confined by modern borders or academic disciplines. It is a tapestry woven from countless threads of experience, memory, and discovery. As we reflect on the remarkable convergence of genetic evidence and ancient oral tradition, we now turn our attention to the present-day challenges and triumphs of the Lemba community. In our next segment, we will explore how the Lemba are working to reclaim and preserve their heritage in the modern world. The story of the Lemba is not merely one of the past. It is a living, breathing narrative that continues to evolve today. In an era defined by rapid change and globalization, the Lemba community faces the dual challenge of preserving ancient traditions while navigating the modern world. Their journey is one of cultural resilience, adaptation, and hope. Across southern Africa, initiatives are underway to revive and maintain the distinctive cultural practices of the Lemba. Community leaders and cultural activists are spearheading efforts to document oral traditions, record rituals, and promote traditional arts. Festivals and public ceremonies celebrate the community's heritage, inviting both local and international audiences to witness the vibrant traditions that define the Lemba identity. These cultural revivals are more than celebrations, they are acts of reclamation. In preserving their rituals, music, dance, and ceremonies, the Lemba are asserting a cultural identity that has withstood the test of time. Their efforts serve as a beacon for other communities worldwide, illustrating that even in the face of modernity, ancient traditions can thrive. Education plays a pivotal role in cultural preservation. Many Lemba communities have established educational programs designed to teach young members about their ancestral history and traditions. Workshops, lectures, and storytelling sessions offer immersive experiences that connect youth with their heritage. By engaging the younger generation, the Lemba ensure that their oral traditions, rituals, and historical narratives are not lost to the passage of time. In addition to formal education, community outreach programs are forging partnerships with academic institutions and cultural organizations. These collaborations provide platforms for the Lemba to share their story with a broader audience, fostering a deeper understanding of their unique heritage and the universal themes of migration, identity, and cultural resilience. The genetic revelations and oral traditions of the Lemba have sparked interest far beyond the borders of southern Africa. In recent years, there has been an increasing dialogue between the Lemba and the global Jewish community. This connection, forged through shared heritage and mutual curiosity, has opened doors to cultural exchanges, interfaith events, and collaborative projects aimed at celebrating a common ancestry. For many Lemba, these interactions are deeply meaningful. They are not only an affirmation of their ancient claims, but also a bridge to a larger diaspora that spans continents and cultures. Meetings with Jewish scholars and cultural leaders have provided opportunities for the Lemba to explore the historical and spiritual dimensions of their identity in new and enriching ways. Despite the many positive strides, the path of cultural preservation is fraught with challenges. Globalization, economic pressures, and the erosion of traditional lifestyles are just a few of the obstacles faced by the Lemba. Yet, rather than succumbing to these pressures, the community is actively seeking innovative solutions to safeguard their heritage. Modern technology, for instance, has become an unexpected ally. Digital archiving projects, online storytelling platforms, and social media campaigns are being employed to document and disseminate Lemba traditions. These efforts not only preserve the past but also make it accessible to a global audience, ensuring that the Lemba narrative continues to inspire and educate future generations. At the heart of these preservation efforts are the personal stories of the Lemba. Whether it's the tale of an elder recounting the ancient journey of their ancestors or a young community member expressing pride in their dual heritage, each story is a powerful testament to the enduring spirit of the Lemba. These voices remind us that history is not merely a collection of dates and events, it is lived experience, emotion, and identity. One young Lemba member explained, "Our traditions are more than just stories, they are the pulse of our community. Every ritual, every song, carries the memories of our ancestors and the promise of our future." Such testimonies highlight a community in active dialogue with its past, one that is determined to keep its unique identity alive in the modern age. Support for the Lemba's cultural preservation comes from multiple quarters. Local governments, non-governmental organizations, and even international institutions have recognized the value of preserving this unique heritage. Grants for cultural research, funding for community centers, and international collaborations are all contributing to a brighter future for the Lemba people. The synergy between tradition and modernity is at the heart of these initiatives. As the Lemba embrace modern educational and technological tools, they remain anchored in the rich legacy of their past. This dual approach not only secures their cultural identity but also enriches the global narrative of human migration and cultural resilience. The story of the Lemba is a powerful reminder that history is not confined to dusty books or ancient ruins. It lives within communities, in the heartbeats of people who continue to honor their past. Their journey, marked by trials, triumphs, and an unyielding spirit, invites us all to reflect on the ways in which identity is forged, transformed, and celebrated. Today, as the Lemba work to reclaim and preserve their heritage, they offer a message to the world. Our roots, no matter how far-flung or hidden by the sands of time, can always be rediscovered. In the blending of myth and science, of ritual and research, lies a testament to the enduring power of human culture. As we conclude our exploration of the Lemba people, we are reminded that the story of human civilization is as intricate as it is expansive. The Lemba's narrative, anchored in oral tradition, enriched by genetic science, and reinvigorated by modern cultural revival, is a vivid illustration of how ancient legacies continue to shape modern identities. From the tales of migration and divine guidance to the modern laboratories that have unlocked the secrets hidden in our DNA, the Lemba offers us a unique lens through which to view the past. Their journey across deserts and through time is a poignant reminder that history is not a static record. It is a living, breathing testament to the resilience of the human spirit. For the Lemba, every beat of the ngoma lungundu, every whispered story from an elder, and every discovery in a research lab reaffirms a simple yet profound truth. Our past, however remote, is never truly lost. It endures in the memories of our ancestors, in the rituals we perform, and in the shared human quest to understand who we are and where we come from. In reconnecting with their lost lineage, the Lemba are not only reclaiming an identity that spans continents and centuries, they are also inviting us to reconsider our own histories. Their story challenges us to look beyond conventional narratives and to appreciate the intricate mosaic of cultural, genetic, and spiritual influences that shape all human lives. Thank you for joining us on this journey through time and tradition. If you found the story of the Lemba as captivating as we did, please like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into the hidden chapters of history. Together, we continue to unveil the past, one story at a time. This has been History Unveiled. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and always remember, the echoes of history are never truly silent. They continue to speak to us, if we only dare to listen.